A wedding, where personalities come together to create something timeless. Yet the whirlwind of planning can feel so overwhelming that couples often miss the chance to savor it. Through the eyes of couples from every corner of the globe, step back into their wedding day and relive the memories that made it unforgettable.
My name is Michelle Riley.
And my name is Tom Brodsky.
We've been together for 7 years and got married in 2023.
This is our real wedding.
I first met Thomas at the Halifax Summer Opera Festival in 2017. I studied singing and Tom was really into singing, so we ended up at the festival together. And there was an event called Opera Backwards, which was a queer showcase of opera. I had just shown up. I came in late to the festival, so I hadn't met anyone. So I was just by myself, and Tom came and introduced himself to me.
The first thing that I noticed about Michelle when I first met her were her eyes. Yeah, I was captivated. We didn't actually wind up talking to each other all that much throughout the music festival, but afterwards, there was a big cast party, and I knew I wanted to get her attention. So what I actually did, I played Bohemian Rhapsody on a piano there all the way through. After that, I felt like I could talk to anyone. The next day, we went to a sushi place. That was our first date.
But I remember seeing him in the hallway one day, and he had this big smile, and he said, "Hi, Michelle." And I had lost my voice, so I was like, I can't talk, but hi.
Oh, that's Katie's wedding.
Yeah, my friend Katie, who I've been friends with since preschool, very, very long time, got married in 2022, I think, and so I was a bridesmaid in her wedding. One of the few pictures we have of us all done up.
Yeah.
Because, so much of our relationship was during the pandemic. We didn't go out
true.
very much, didn't have any events. So yeah, this is a nice picture to have.
I think it was in October of 2017 that I went to both London and Toronto to audition. During that visit to London, obviously visited Michelle as well. That's when we had, the conversation that you have about making it official, and that's when we were officially together. In 2018, I heard back. I got into all of the schools that I had auditioned for. UBC was the only school that offered me a scholarship. I just felt like I had to go, It was too good of an opportunity to pass up, and Michelle supported that. And I think that really made me feel like Michelle was the one for me, because even though it was a difficult thing for her to have me move away that far, she still wanted to support me in pursuing my dreams. That was what won me over totally, I'd say. That was it. Hey.
This was at the Capilano Bridge, lodge after Thomas proposed. And they had a big, beautiful Christmas tree. So we got all kinds of ring pictures up against the Christmas tree. And the lighting was really good. It made it look really sparkly.
I remember people being surprised that I chose that ring myself. In terms of the proposal, we had done 2 years of long distance, and then Michelle moved to Vancouver after she was done her master's. Once she moved, I knew that I wanted to propose. For the proposal, I knew that I wanted to do either something at the Capilano Bridge, which is this gorgeous, picturesque park up in the mountains just outside of Vancouver. She knew why we were going up there. She did her hair beforehand. She did her nails beforehand. She knew it was coming as well. So I kind of rushed through the park a bit to get to the spot where I wanted to propose.
He was like, can we go to the Capilano Bridge at this time on this day? Yes, we can. I definitely knew like that whole week or whenever you asked me leading up to it, I was like, there's no other reason he would be so specific if it wasn't to propose. I was so happy. He did get me off guard though when he actually did it, because he had it set up that he gave his phone to a couple of other people in the park and said, can you take a picture of us?
Would you be able to take a photo of us? Yeah.
And I said, okay, like didn't think anything of it. But it turned out to be a video that they were filming. And so they got the whole proposal on video. And so we were just kind of posing, and then he got down on one knee and I was like, oh, there he is. So yeah, it was very sweet. I did know it was coming, but he still like surprised me with how he did it.
Oh.
This was right after we got engaged, and we were starting to tell people. Maybe it was the next day. I think it was the day after we got engaged.
Steph, my sister-in-law, took a series of photos for us, Christmas photos of us being engaged. And that's our old apartment, 1408 in Vancouver. Michelle started planning the wedding. I think she cried for like 20 seconds after I proposed, and then immediately she was into like choosing the venue, choosing the flowers, the table seating plan. The thing that was most important to me in the wedding ceremony and the reception was that it reflected who we were as people, and that is mostly about the music that was featured. Another thing that I convinced Michelle to put in was our first dance, which I choreographed, and I had to edit 2 songs together to overlap so that we could do a slow song and also the choreographed dance.
Mostly fueled by anxiety because of all the postponed pandemic weddings. I was like, we've got to book stuff now. During my March break, I flew back to Halifax to mainly book a wedding venue. I was like, as long as we have a place to get married, everything else will kind of fall into place. So by that point, I had already toured all the places that I was considering and decided on the Halifax Club for our reception and the Maritime Conservatory Concert Hall. I've been planning my wedding in my head for a very long time. I found the dress in Vancouver, planned a whole girls' trip to get my mom and my sister over so that they could be part of the shopping experience. As well as my mom and sister, Steph, Tom's sister-in-law, came, and my aunt Kathy, who lives on Vancouver Island. I had a great consultant. She put me in all kinds of different styles. It was in between a big like princessy ball gown and like a slimmer fit with sleeves. As a singer, as a classical singer, you wear a lot of gowns and you wear a lot of costumes doing opera, so I wanted something that felt very bridal, so I thought sleeves were a nice way to do that. And yeah, so I ended up trying on my dress that first appointment and said, I can't top this. Like, this is what it's gonna be. I love the wedding dress pictures. Yeah. I'm so excited. You excited?
You ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna.
Yeah.
Michelle Maureen Riley, from the moment I saw you, I knew that I wanted you. And when we finally came together, I couldn't believe that you wanted me too. But you changed all of that. I could never regret my choices now, because the specific way I pursued music was the path that brought me to you. I think my biggest regret will be that it is all gonna go by too fast. The thing I was thinking the most through my vows was how much my voice was cracking, and I was like,
you were crying.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Every time there's quinoa all over the carpet, I promise to keep choosing you. Every time you fall asleep in my arms, I promise to keep loving you.
I have never felt so wholly and fully accepted by anyone as I do by you. You see me, and you always surround me with pure love. I feel it in every part of me, and I know everyone around us can feel it too. I promise to provide you with a safe home full of unwavering support, and I vow I will continue to nurture that strength.
Noah.
I freely give myself to you today and always. You are mine and I am yours forever.
I was so proud of Thomas for crying. I said, if you don't cry, I'm gonna walk out and walk back. But he cried way more
there's
than
Zola.
Zola's so little.
She looks so different
Her
now.
hair is so much longer.
Yeah, she did perfectly. Ran right down the aisle.
She had a temper tantrum before, I think. She, like right before, and Steph was like, go, and she did.
And Xander, her father, was right there next to me, but she ran right to Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Mary. Flowers look gorgeous.
Flowers look gorgeous, and I didn't have much direction for the bridesmaids' dresses. I just said, like, generally this color, but, like, choose whatever you like, and I like how they all complemented each other very well. I like the mismatched look.
There she is.
There she is. With my blue hydrangea.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great shot. Wow. I feel like I'm seeing things I haven't seen before.
Yeah. And Xander weeping.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah. So cute. When I first started walking down the aisle, I was taking in, you know, everything around us and, you know, all the other people. But halfway down, I locked my eyes on you, and I knew that you were just the most important part of the day. You know, after everything, after all the planning and everything, it really was just about you and me and making this commitment. And I was ready, totally ready. I remember we took like a deep breath together. Yeah, because it's such a chaotic day up until that moment, and I knew I just wanted to be present with you and everyone there. So that's what I remember. Yeah, the big,
big
breath. Yeah. I really was just so happy up until the wedding day. There's so much that you're planning and thinking about, and it's so stressful, so many details. But on the day, I let it all go, and I was just happy to be there. And it really was everything I dreamed of. Like it was beautiful. And my brother reading the poem Touched by an Angel by Maya Angelou, I think.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that was, I think the moment I got the most emotional was when Kathy was playing the violin.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was something, she chose the piece, I didn't know it, but she played it so beautifully, and it was just a chance to be still amongst like all of everything going on. Oh, weeping. We're both just weeping. Oh, we had a nice thing, the warming of the rings. We passed the ring box around.
That was nice.
At the start of the ceremony, so all of our guests could hold them and just infuse them with their blessings and best wishes for our marriage.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
I give you this ring as a reminder
that I will love, honor, and cherish you.
That I will love, honor, and cherish you.
In all times.
In all times.
In all places.
In all places.
And in all ways forever.
Forever.
Hold the ring before Michelle's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring as a reminder.
I give you this ring as a reminder.
That I will love, honor, and cherish you.
That I will love, honor, and cherish you.
In all times.
In all times.
In all places.
In all places.
And in all ways forever.
And in all ways forever.
You can put the ring on.
facing the right direction
No, we
for
weren't.
the candle lighting.
I don't know what I was thinking, but they got it on the
They
video
got
nicely.
a good shot of it at least.
Yeah, you think you plan everything, but then so much just gets, caught up in
Something
the
that
moment.
we should have rehearsed was the document signing.
Yes, it's so confusing. I thought that we were going to be guided
Yeah.
through it, but they're just like, here's a pen.
Yeah. One of Michelle's friends, Skylar, I think she was actually the friend that you were waiting for at the bus stop theater.
was, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she sang at our wedding. And while we were signing the documents, she was supposed to sing. And that was supposed to be the transition between the signing and the next segment of the ceremony. But
She finished
she finished and
way
it was
earlier.
like 7 minutes of just dead silence
'cause
while
we're
we were
like-
trying to figure out. And on one of the forms, Xander, my best man, my brother, it said county on the form, and he wrote Canada, so he must have thought it said country,
Yeah.
which I thought was an indication of how nervous we all were
Yeah.
in that moment. Yeah, I think that was my favorite moment of the day when we were
Just
sitting
together. Yeah.
during the reception when we were sitting at our sweetheart table, which was a great idea.
Mm. It was,
because
yeah.
everything is so hectic
That
about
you
the
don't,
whole
like-
day that you don't really.
See each other and
Yeah.
talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's happening around you.
So that was actually time to just consciously experience the moment of our wedding together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister Amy made our wedding cake.
Yes.
She did a beautiful job.
She made 2 wedding cakes.
Yeah, she made a practice cake
She made
and
a
then the real cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was the MC
So welcome on this
and he gave a
joyous
speech.
occasion as
I
we
loved all of
celebrate
our speeches.
All of the speeches were
They
amazing.
were, yeah, just the
I was
right.
really surprised at how funny and articulate and
Mm-hmm.
inspiring everybody was.
Yeah,
Ah, your smile is just radiant there.
thank you. I switched out of my veil. That was the headpiece that my mom wore at her wedding. Oh, there's Katie and Cassie, my 2 best
Aw.
friends from
Michelle is Tom's
forever.
true
The,
partner.
the
preschool.
Muscamigos.
Muscamigos.
That's what they call
That's what we call
themselves. Xander, my best man, giving his speech.
He's a very good speaker.
Yeah, a beautiful sentiment.
Yeah. My sister, Amy, she did a wonderful speech. She was so funny.
Yeah.
She is funny.
Not just because he likes classical music.
There's our song that you wrote.
Yeah.
We practiced it over many, many months.
Yeah.
We started probably a year before the wedding.
When I started playing the guitar, there was a section of our wedding party that started cheering, and I thought it was because they loved the song, but it was actually because they made a bet on which one of us would start singing first, because they knew we were gonna sing something.
Oh yeah, me and my mom singing Bohemian Rhapsody. Everyone was singing the whole time too, just how it was when we first got together. Yeah, and you had it so the end of Bohemian Rhapsody went seamlessly into the first dance. What's going on?
Oh, what's going on?
We didn't
I
plan
actually
this.
tricked Steph. She thought something was.
She was like, I thought something was wrong, but then I saw Tommy's dramatic face and I knew it was all planned.
Cassie Cassie and Katie referenced a dance move that they thought was funny that I do, where I dance around and hold my head perfectly still while I move my body around. And so I threw that in at the very last minute.
Yeah, but that was great. So we started out with our own parents, Tom dancing with his mom and me dancing with my dad, and then we switched. And that was a nice way of, you know, blending our families together and also welcoming everyone onto the dance floor after that. There's so much stress, there's so many details to look after that on the day of the wedding, I told myself to just be present, be in the moment, just enjoy myself. So I felt like that morning a weight had been lifted and I was so happy, I really was. And I wasn't gonna let any problems get to me. I knew there would be solutions, and even if there were mistakes, we're human. It's not gonna be this pristine event, and that's fine. It's just gonna
Even though it went very well.
It did go very well. Yeah, I was just so happy to be where I was, and I was so happy to be marrying you. If I would have done anything differently on the wedding day, it wouldn't have been any major decisions. I'm so happy with how it looked. Everyone had a wonderful time. It was just some technicalities just of getting, you know, all the right poses with the photographer and the videographer. That took up a lot of time. But overall, no, I wouldn't have changed any of the decisions that we made together. I thought it was a day that really captured what was important to us, and it was the wedding of my dreams. It really was.
I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to have another look at our big day a year out. It's great to see different things and different details that I wouldn't have noticed and I wouldn't have appreciated as much before. Had it not been so wonderfully captured.
The emotion that I'm left with is I'm just reminded of the joy and the real calmness I felt on the day. I've said a few times how, you know, tense and stressed I was, but really on the wedding day, I was so content, I was so calm, I was just so joyful, grateful, happy to be there, happy to have everyone around. It really, truly was one of the happiest days of my life. The ceremony really was the most important piece to me. I wanted a lot of symbolism. I wanted it to just be a real reflection of us. So I planned out what the overall feeling was and how the music related to that. I wanted to have all of our family involved. Like we had your stepsister officiating, we had my brother reading, my aunt playing the violin, my friends singing, you know, like I wanted to involve our mothers lighting the candle. Wanted to make sure that everyone had a really important part of our day, and that was the most important thing to me, was just bringing everyone together and having it be a reflection of our love.
I think the biggest milestone since our wedding was that we've settled down in a home. We feel so blessed to have this house.
Well, life has changed completely pretty much since we got married, because I've opened up my own business teaching voice and piano lessons, Michelle Riley Music. So I really feel like our lives are being shaped in what we've always wanted them to be, having our own home, having jobs that we love, and being close to our family again.
I would say that what I'm looking forward to most is for the world to open back up again and to be a part of the wider world again. With Michelle, one of the things that made me want to get married in the first place was traveling by myself. I did a trip to Europe and I did a trip to Southeast Asia by myself, both fabulous and wonderful experiences, but they also made me realize that there are only so many places you can go to physically and emotionally by yourself. I feel like traveling now that I'm married is going to be, no matter where we go, it's going to be so much better with Michelle.